Hi everybody, good morning. My name is Menachem Creditor. I serve as scholar in residence for UJ Federation of New York, and it has been quite a few days since we were able to be together because the holiday of Passover begins with 2 days that traditional Jews don't connect on electricity, and we celebrate the holiday of Passover with 2 Seders, and then it was Shabbat, and then it was Sunday. But I gotta say, of the things that I've been looking forward to returning to, even though we're still in the middle of Passover, these in-between days called Chol HaMoed, holy ordinary days, they're hybrids, just being able to wake up this morning knowing that we were going to start a day together was itself delightful. I hope you're well. I hope that you and your family, you are safe, you are healthy. I hope you're hopeful. So what we do each morning, Monday through Friday, is we sing a little bit, we learn a little bit, and we wish each other a good day. I'm assuming that you've been seeing countless ways of connecting to other communities and artists and sketch comedy online. It's powerful to see how everyone is just very human, trying really hard to give what we give. That's what I get to do this morning on behalf of UJ Federation. And I have to say, it is an enormous gift to be able to share this purposeful morning. So let's begin with a little bit of learning. And what I'll ask you to do, because it's really one of the nicest things that comes from these mornings, is say good morning to everybody. If you feel up to it, just comment on this. You don't have to say, where you're from. You don't have to go deep at all, but just wishing each other a good day. And if you feel like sharing a little bit more, this is a beautiful space to create community. So the blessing for learning that we're going to share, the melody was written by Rabbi David Paskin, and it ends with the words La'asok b'divrei Torah, to be busy with words of Torah. Here we go. So good morning. There are a whole bunch of us, 82 or so of us who are here. It is so nice to see you, Lori and Linda, Penny, Arlene, Adrian. I have to say there's something really, really sweet about seeing familiar faces, seeing new faces. What I would love to invite, and Adrian just did this actually, is for you to share something inspiring that you've seen. If you have been online, as I think all of us now are, and you found something that inspires you online, a link or a name, something or an experience, something that you'd like to share, it's really powerful to see where the good stuff is coming from. I recently just saw the San Diego Jewish Academy, it's a day school out in San Diego. They did a cover of a song that I wrote called Olam Chesed Yibaneh, and somehow did the tracks just right, that even though they weren't in the same space, there was harmony, there were instruments. So if you feel like sharing something inspiring that you've experienced, that would be really wonderful. There is there's something really beautiful from Jewish tradition that we can take from, especially in this moment. And a lot of people don't know about it. So Passover happens, Pesach happens on the 14th of Nisan. That's when it's scheduled to begin. But even in the ancient world, there were reasons that so you might miss Pesach. And so the rabbis scheduled something called Pesach Sheni, a second Pesach, which was 1 month after. And and I've wondered about this. Would there ever be a practical reason to be learning all this stuff? What does a second Pesach look like? What would keep you from having a first Pesach? Now, you and I weren't prevented from having a first Pesach, but this is the first circumstance in my life that I have become aware that, even rituals sometimes need rescheduling. There have been countless bar and bat mitzvahs that have not taken place, at least in the way that they were supposed to. Some of them have been put off. I've watched rabbis and cantors make beautiful decisions that the children whose bar and bat mitzvahs were supposed to happen will happen later, but they'll be able to read later what they would have read now. And that's another way of realizing something beautiful from this idea of Pesach Sheni, a replacement Pesach, a second Pesach. So I was looking around in one of my favorite books, and sure enough, my friend, my teacher, Ilana Kershan, who I grew up with, we were both rabbis' kids on Long Island, she wrote this beautiful book called If All the Seas Were Ink. It's a memoir, but it also traces her learning the entire Talmud, a 7.5-year cycle called Daf Yomi. And she talks through her life, and she talks through each page. It's a remarkable book. It won amazing admiration and awards. So I recommend it to you very much. She's also just a wonderful person, lives in Israel. You could certainly look her up and visit. She has this teaching from Tractate Psachim, which is the book of the Talmud that deals with the rules and traditions of Passover. So I just want to read a drop of her writing as Torah and commend it to us. I think there's something really essential about the idea that we get second chances. In life, we get second chances. In these moments, we have second chances. If you were planning on going for a walk and you live around me, it is pouring outside. And you might take that walk anyway, actually, but you might wait for your second chance. It's a sweet, simple way to think about it. This is what Ilana writes. Tractate Psachim takes its name from notions of doubling and pairs, right? It's not Pesach, it's Psachim. The first, known as Pesach Rishon, is the normal Passover celebration that takes place on the anniversary of the Exodus from Egypt. The second, known as Pesach Sheni, is the make-up opportunity offered 1 month later to those who were ritually impure or too far from the temple on the 14th of Nisan to bring the sacrifice then. And so Psachim symbolizes the opportunity for second chances and a new lease on life, she writes. In that sense, the holiday has something in common with Yom Kippur, which is also a chance to wipe the slate clean and begin anew. I reviewed those words and knew I wanted to share them this morning for a million reasons. They're poetic, they're scholarly, they're true. They are also really hope-inducing. So what I wanted to wish for you this morning, what I want to wish for me this morning, is we're going to get a second chance. This really complicated moment is going to be a really, really, really big test of what we learn. Will we carry, and I don't talk about this in the mornings as much, but I want to name it, will we carry the hard lessons from the losses we've endured? Will the world wake up just a little bit to what distance means and what distance doesn't have to mean? Will the petty squabbles that have kept us from the people we love be as big as they were before, or will we fall into each other's arms with gratitude? Will we be as forgiving in those moments soon as we are learning to be right now? Because it is better to be forgiving. It is holy to be together. It is essential that we not forget the lessons that we're learning. Will our children, who, if they are blessed, are on Zoom classes and are in school, in their rooms, will they ever take their friends for granted again? I bet you they won't. So grown-ups, let's be those children who don't take anything for granted again. Will we make sure that we have the information we need, that we have news we can trust? Will we celebrate our teachers? Will you talk to a cashier this summer with a tenderness and gratitude that you speak with them now? Will you take your own health seriously enough then? These are all lessons we are called to learn. They are our second chances. Will we ever forget these lessons? And I imagine, given human history, maybe we might. The Talmud says, it's kind of humorous, the Talmud says that Jews typically don't remember the old tribulations because we always have new ones. May we be blessed not to have new ones, not for a very, very long time. May the world and we, which just means you and me, remember what we've learned these days. Because just like Pesach can be redone, we get a second chance. Once we get to emerge into the light, even if it's raining like this, won't it be nice to find each other just taking a walk on the street? When we reemerge, when we go back to work, when we go back to school, when art is in the public space, we can celebrate our actors and our singers and our dancers and our teachers and the people who clean up the streets, especially our doctors and our nurses. When we get to hug all those people and weep tears of gratitude for just them doing what they were born to do, them taking care of us with such care, such warmth, on that day, won't it be nice to be a little bit wiser? Won't that be great? So, we're in the middle of Passover. We have more learning tomorrow. I cannot wait to see you tomorrow morning. Let's sing our way out. And really, thanks for starting this day with me. You should sing with me wherever you are. Just one last time. Bless you all. Have a beautiful day. See you tomorrow morning.